All right, viewers, we're getting an understanding right now that the protests have stemmed in most places right now. However, the police has been told to be vigilant. I want to cut across directly to Kamaljit Sandhu, my colleague who tracks the Home Ministry very closely. The Home Ministry has also stepped in, viewers. It's advised every state to be extremely vigilant in light of the protests that we've seen take place through the course of today after Friday press. Kamal, would you get us up to speed? What is the Home Ministry doing? Clearly, they're observing things as they unfold. What are the orders that have been sent out or advisories to each state?
Anticipating trouble over Nupur Sharma's comments, Home Ministry in its advisory has told the states to be extra vigilant. The sort of repercussions and ripple effects that we see today, the sort of violence that has taken place in Prayagraj, clashes taken place in Ranchi. What is clear is that this advisory was paid heed to. The other part is obviously law and order is a state subject. However, since Centre does monitor the situation, there are constant intelligence inputs. There's multi-agency Centre which keeps giving inputs. So after that, we've seen the Centre passing on information, especially in the wake of Friday prayers, and that is where a caution has been told to be exercised. And obviously the decision, whether it is to monitor social media, whether it is to ensure that there is peace on ground, whether it is to rope in big religious leaders to ensure that there is peace on ground, is left to the state. But yes, a caution, a word of note has been sent out by Home Ministry, and at this point of time, extremely clear that things are at a very sensitive juncture and needs to be handled, and that is why Centre's advice needs to be exercised extremely vigilantly as well as cautiously.
Kamal, appreciate you joining us. You're going to come right back to get a larger understanding on what the Home Ministry is doing, because what has happened, viewers, is fairly unprecedented. There are 2 points of views that are coming out. One, these protests after Friday prayers, it's not one city, pan-India protests, viewers, have taken place. People have come out. The namazis are in full strength. There's arson that has taken place. There's violence. What you see on your television screen are shots that are filtering in. This is from Ranchi, viewers. And you can see shots of arson there, and stone pelting also took place in various parts of the country. These shots coming in from Ranchi. Meanwhile, as the protests, viewers, turned violent in several parts of the country, the Delhi police is now probing whether the protests were orchestrated or were they organic. The cops are probing the posters used for the protests across cities, also probing the similarity in language and pictures used in these messages. Primarily, viewers, what the cops really are doing is to see whether there was a coordinated attempt to organize these mass protests. They've happened not right after the comments that were made by Nupur Sharma. It's over 10 days since those comments were made. It is after there was international pressure which was put on India, and India at that point of time sacked Nupur Sharma from the party, and it is at the back of that that these protests have taken place. The cops in Delhi, the Delhi police, viewers, seems to be hinting at a pre-planned outrage. They are probing whether the pan-India protest was stoked through social media, and how this event, clearly it seems to be an event of sorts because so many cities were involved and it happened right after Friday prayers. So they are saying whether there was a coordinated effort in trying to identify those behind these messages. Aishwarya is joining me live from Jama Masjid. The protests, Aishwarya, have stemmed in Jama Masjid. What is interesting is that the Imam has said that he had no idea that there would be protests that would take place. You were there while the protests were raging. Take us through. Right now, everything is peaceful, but take us through on what you saw.
Well, Preeti, let me tell you, there is a calm after the storm that was erupted right inside Jama Masjid. We now see people entering the masjid like they do every day. A lot of people are sitting on the stairs. People are now just leisurely waiting, and, just like how people come on every day, that's what we can see in and around Jama Masjid. But yes, one thing which is very interesting, which you also pointed out, Preeti, is the fact that the Imam has said that they don't know who those people were, and that is exactly what the locals are also telling India today. Those people who have been photographed, the video which is being circulated, those who stay close by don't know who those people are. The police, in fact, Preeti, is now saying that they are investigating. They believe that this was all pre-planned, which is why we are seeing the kind of protests taking place across the country. In fact, they're also saying the font which was being used, those messages, those posters which were being circulated, all of them look very similar, pointing towards a pre-planned conspiracy. The police at the moment is speaking with police of different states to figure out what exactly happened. But as far as the barricading and the police personnel are, if you talk about them at Jama Masjid, the people have started gathering.
Aishwarya, how many people came out to protest in Jama Masjid? Because you were there when the protests were taking place, were there a lot of people that had come out? What was the trajectory of events? Take us through that. Friday prayers take place, then what happened?
See, when the Friday prayers take place, roughly we see thousands of people right inside. We are at the stairs of the Jama Masjid. People were inside, and then as soon as the prayers got over, we saw that there were close to 200 to 250 people who started shouting, and they started sloganeering against Nupur Sharma. A video was made which was then being circulated. Then people got down from these very stairs and immediately they vanished into thin air. This is what the locals and those who were praying with them said, that by the time people realized what was happening, they started to look for those people. They could not find them. Police, however, Preeti, at the moment believes that this was a pre-planned conspiracy, and they also believe that there could be individuals or an organization.
Was this a peaceful protest at Jama Masjid, or was there violence, arson, stone pelting involved in Delhi?
No, Preeti, it was a very peaceful protest. In fact, let me just show you. This is the barricade which has been put up. There was a police van just a couple of minutes back which has been taken because the police believe that everything is now very peaceful. A very interesting thing, Preeti, I would just like to show you. The police chowki, in fact, is right in front of gate number 1, which means that the police is forever ready just in case something happens. And this is exactly what happened. As soon as sloganeering started taking place, the police personnel from this police station walked up till gate number 1 and they sorted things out. At the moment, everything is peaceful in Jama Masjid, but the police believes there's a larger conspiracy.
All right, the police believe there's a larger conspiracy where Jama Masjid is concerned. The locals around said that, listen, we had nothing to do with this protest, but we'd also add the protest in Delhi's Jama Masjid has been peaceful. That's what is being reported on ground. There was no arson, there was no stone pelting.